he's definitely wanting to be very much part of the process. Whatever. There he is. Hey, buddy. So he's been talking to me as I've been setting up. I guess because because I gave him some peanut butter last night and he went nuts for it. And there's a series of videos about that on YouTube. And I think I'm going to give him some peanut butter right now so everybody stays sane while I am making my peanut butter cookies. It's going to be a little bit of a process. Not because it's complicated to make the cookies, not at all. But I decided let's take it up a notch. I've got this device that I got myself for Christmas and I haven't cracked it open yet. I'm like, well, what better time to do it? Because it definitely fits into like everything I'm trying to achieve. Mortimer is like, I don't care, mother. Okay, so I'm gonna give him some peanut butter. I've got 2 cameras going, so I don't know how to do this where, like I can do the one camera, but if I tilt the whole thing, it's a little crazy, but it's okay. So anyways, he's gonna go nuts for this. I guess I need to make it where I can just show him. Let's see here. Mortimer, are you visible? You visible, buddy? There you go. Okay, so we're doing our peanut butter. And I'm using all natural peanut butter. Because why wouldn't you? It's funny, when I made these cookies one other time, people went pretty much nuts for them. No pun intended. Although I guess peanut is not technically a nut, even though it's called a nut. But that's a whole nother kettle of fish, or nuts, or legumes, or whatever. Anyways, so I don't know if you can see him. Here, let's see. How do I do this? Come here. Where are you? Okay, come here. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, he's crazy for peanut butter. Can you sit? Can you sit? He gets so hyper focused, I don't think he even hears my voice. I understand that. Okay, here you go, buddy. So he's gonna be working on that, because if he wasn't working on that when I was making my peanut butter cookies, I don't know, it would be a much more, I don't know, interesting process. I have to check one thing real quick, my recipe notes, just to make sure I got the right amount of each ingredient. Let's see here. Where did it go? Okay. So, cup of peanut butter, cup of sugar, teaspoon, egg. Okay. I'm back, Facebook. Okay, I'm back. So, it's like a cup of peanut butter. So we're using all natural. I'm gonna pivot over here. In case you just happen to be one of those people that just stockpiles kitchen ingredients. I'm a little bit like that. I like to have stuff on hand, especially things that I use on a regular basis. And when I see a deal, I grab it. Well, okay, so I got my peanut butter. I need to get I was a little discombobulated because I had a bit of I don't want to say crisis. That's such a dramatic word, and it's kind of fun to say it when it isn't really accurate. But I had a little issue around this vanilla, because Safeway has a tendency to, like, I don't know, mess things up with pricing, but their deals are so good that it keeps me coming back, and, you know, the quality of their produce and meat, I'm happy with. But when there's an issue, it's like it's a fist fight that you have to be committed to spending a lot of time. So I wound up inadvertently spending $14 on this thing of pure vanilla extract because it was mislabeled, and the one that doesn't quite have the level of fanciness with the same brand was $8, and that was actually a reasonable deal compared to everything else. But anyways, just want to take a second to acknowledge this Facebook friend of mine, Ruby, who does like cooking or baking, and she's fantastic on here, and I'll tag her if she's cool with it. But she makes her own vanilla extract, you know, and so I think that's the universe saying, Sarah, it's time to go there, go a different direction. But okay, so I got my egg. I'm having to make a slightly truncated version of the peanut butter cookies. Okay, so we just had peanut butter, egg, sugar, salt, and vanilla. So I'm 3/5 of the way there. So you see my sugar and my salt. And, you know, I kind of made my peace with the fact that when I'm working on this stuff, yeah, I may do like a super streamlined version down the road, which is cool, but I think people tune in to videos and stuff just as much to kind of, I don't know, connect and maybe feel something as much as it is like a practical thing. But to kind of cut to the chase, It's funny, I come back and everybody's gone. But that's okay, I'm still here. I'm gonna do a truncated version of stuff, at least in the comments, and if someone wants just to click on it and see how I'm doing what I do or how to do the recipe, like, you don't have to spend gobs and gobs of time watching or rewatching the video, and that's cool. But anyways, this is ingredient number 4 out of 5, and then sea salt. We want sea salt. So I was gonna make these. I had a happy accident when I made these the first time, and what they are is peanut butter cookies that are low glycemic, and I'm pretty sure gluten free. And if anybody that's gluten free and really adamant about it is watching this and wants to weigh in, I mean, I'll verify a little later. But I mean, all I'm doing and using is vanilla extract, like natural peanut butter from Sprouts, low glycemic coconut sugar, which is amazing stuff because even though it's, I guess, derived from coconuts and it's low glycemic, so it doesn't make your blood sugar spike. So I think even like people that are pre-diabetic or diabetic, something worth exploring. It doesn't taste like coconut, so you can make it a direct substitute for anything that you would use regular like processed sugar in. And then we got our sea salt. So I was gonna do this in the oven, but I've actually really been wanting to do this toaster oven, but I just hadn't gotten around to opening it. And I'm like, what better time? Because I don't have enough peanut butter to make a full batch. So I was like, all right, so I'm already kind of thinking like more streamlined. And then I'm like, the whole reason I bought a toaster oven is because I was trying to figure out a way, especially in Arizona, and especially as someone that's, you know, here doing my thing. I don't really want to waste energy. I don't want to heat up the house. I don't have to. And I'm not a big fan of microwaves, but toaster ovens, at least conceptually, are pretty revolutionary. I always had one growing up. But I don't know that I've ever purchased one myself. I think I had one that I inherited and then, you know, things happen. But this is my first ever self-bought toaster oven. And yeah, I could have, done this preemptively, but, you know, living and learning, building something. I decided, I think I'm pretty darn sure I'm going to call what I'm doing the big project. Because it actually is a pretty big project in terms of everything I'm trying to achieve. And my last name is Big Low, so it kind of makes sense. And just as a, I guess, perpetual reminder, my whole focus, goal, dream, desire, you name it, is to help people build good lives. And do the same for myself in the process. So I'm doing the music, doing the cooking, and I think engaging is important. And me personally, don't have family, and that's just my reality. And so, kind of consider the world, I guess, my potential family, and just making efforts to, you know, do the best I can, have the biggest, you know, rate of return on the path that I'm on. So, not that I necessarily want to return to this path, but, I mean, maybe, you know, we'll see how I feel about it when everything's done, given 2 billion years from now. I'm very happy that I have electrical plugs in my iron, because otherwise this would be even more ridiculous. This is a little more in depth than I anticipated, but that's okay. I mean, even if I end up doing a whole nother video, that's okay too. Sometimes I think there's just a lot to be said for just doing things and seeing what works. And like Woody Allen, as a human, kind of creeps me out, but I find myself often reminded of the quote that's attributed to him, which is, I think 95% of success is showing up. And I've found that to be imperatively, incessantly, and pretty much infallibly true. Even when you're not in the mood, even when things seem like they're just you can't, you don't have it forever. I mean, 95% of the time, if you still try and you show up, you can make something move forward. You can have a positive result that you wouldn't have had you just given up. And I guess 5% of the time, if you figure out, you're just going to bleed out your resources and showing up and trying, it's just, you got to pick your battles. I get that, and that's fine. And this is slightly a thing of mystery, but it can't be that complicated. I'm akin to probably quite a few people, and that I don't really relish reading instructions, but this guy is Hamilton Beach, and he's a surefire. That's the Spanish side. I could start with third, but I'm just not going to. Air fryer, toaster oven. Okay, and in this case, seeing is believing, because the picture is very telling and helpful. So I'm not to spend crazy gobs of time and energy. Picture's worth, I'd say, minimum 1,000 words. And good words at that. Accurate words. Words that are somewhat universal. Okay, so I think it's got like 4 little components at the moment. And this guy goes up top of this. This guy goes here. Is like a drip tray capturer. And got this basket thing. I bet some of this stuff is interchangeable. Because at the end of the day, what I'm accomplishing is making a very, limited, high quality batch of low glycemic, pretty sure gluten-free peanut butter cookies. And who doesn't love a peanut butter cookie? I don't know. I haven't really encountered anybody that doesn't have a certain amount of affinity for peanut butter. So, I think. Okay, I'm going to take one more second just to look at the instructions. All else fails. Maybe look at the thing that, in theory, people put effort into to try to make stuff easier. Sometimes it's completely counterproductive, but let's see. Okay, parts and features. Blah, 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 blah. Baking boiling pan is number 7, which is this guy. So, I guess you can just hang on there. I'm going to use, this is very exciting to me, parchment paper, because we have it on sale, or I don't know, just like on a screaming good deal at the Sam's Club over in surprise. Turn this off. And a silly phone call coming in. But okay, it's gonna go pretty quick in a second here. It's basically what I'm gonna do. Just gonna make sure I got my parchment paper. And yeah, down the road, I guess everything's gonna be maybe super slick, but I don't know what the fun is in that. And I do like the videos where they super speed up things, and so you can watch the video and literally see every step like in quick succession. Because I'm someone that processes stuff very quickly, and so I don't like to be unnecessarily slowed down. But being able to share this process with people, I don't know, feels good to me. I think people derive benefit from it. Hey, this is made in France, and I've been watching Julia the Child's. Hi, Joyce and Babs. I sure appreciate you tuning in. I was originally the plan was just to make these very specific, I think pretty healthy peanut butter cookies, and then I decided I didn't want to involve the oven like I did the first time I made these, and I want to use my toaster oven, which I hadn't unpacked yet. So I decided to go ahead and unpack the toaster oven. And then it gives me an excuse to talk about my parchment paper, which is great for baking, lining, and steaming, clearly, because that's what the package says. And when it says made in France, it just kind of made me smile because, I don't know, I don't know tons and tons about Julia Child. I know she has a heck of a reputation. And that movie, Julie and Julia, I sure got a kick out of that. And then I started watching it this morning as I was prepping some stuff. And I love that movie, Julie and Julia. It's on Netflix right now. So if you have Netflix, Boy, is that sure worth your $8 a month this month, just to, or $9.95, $8.95, whatever it is. But just to tune in and watch the thing with, I think the girl's name is Rachel or something, and then, I think it's Meryl Streep. Fantastic show, though. Okay, so, I'm doing this stuff in advance. I don't know. I mean, it's part of me's like, oh, I should speed up the parts that aren't interesting, but I don't know what you do in milk on interesting. At the end of the day, even if all I was doing in front of you was making cookies, the cookies is just consist of me putting stuff in a bowl, and then stirring them, and then taking little portions of that bowl and putting it on this parchment paper. And I guess if you tune in to watch something real quick and, you know, concise, then, well, that's not what I'm offering today. It's not what's on the menu. But I think it's kind of interesting, too, that, you know, some of the best cuisines in the world are based around stuff being kind of ridiculous in terms of how much effort is put into them and how delicate they are. And all that goes into it just so you have a few minutes of bliss. And a lot of those things are French, like crepes and souffles. So, I don't know. This is me kind of, I guess, processing. But very close to the inaugural run of this Sure Crisp Air Fry Function Hamilton Beach toaster. What's the taster show? Okay, pardon me, Mortimer. My Jack Russell is very intense as far as when he has a project. And his current project is eating peanut butter from a little ramekin. So I don't want to disturb him. And it's really not possible to disturb him unless I take away the peanut butter. So we're good. But anyways, okay, so let me get my bowl. Okay. And it called for, the original recipe is like 1 cup of this, well, regular sugar, but that's what I'm using. And a tablespoon of this. Called for less fancy, but we'll see how it goes. And a cup of this, and one of these guys, and some of this for the top. But since I didn't have quite as much, I just gotta let my peanut butter. This is for people that don't cook or bake a whole lot. You know, it's just math. So since my limiting agent, I guess if you want to even go in the chemistry world, my limiting agent, aka, you know, the creature involved in this equation, the ingredient that I have the least of, that's how I get my ratio. So this is fortunately a simple recipe, but it's a 1-to-1 kind of scenario. Let's see, maybe I have half a cup worth. I think I do. I probably have more than half a cup worth. But as we well know, time will tell. So, doing this. Actually, I might have enough. You know, I think when I made this recipe the first time, I think I doubled it, because I do like to have extras of stuff and I freeze it, and, you know, I just like to get most bang for my buck that I can. But, so let's see here. So I got 1 cup, and, oh, no, that's half cup. So, let's see if I have enough to fill it one more time with peanut butter. I think you can, yeah, you can see it's okay, cool. Things are working. Okay, so, I say I have darn close to a cup worth of peanut butter. So, to get along with that peanut butter, move forward in life. And this is another tip for people that don't cook or bake a lot. Ideally, especially if you only have 1 measuring cup and you're going to have to dip it into various things, you want to use it for your dry stuff first, because then it's not all gooped up. But luckily, I have 1 measuring cup, because I was thinking it'd be okay. I didn't need to dip the measuring cup into the container of sugar, but some of the sugar would stick to the inside of the cup because I already gooped it up. It's a very technical cooking term, by the way, with sugar, with peanut butter. So I move forward very easily because I have a ton of measuring cups, and as you get on clearance, they were phasing a bunch of stuff out at Macy's. So that was pretty cool. So anyways, using our coconut sugar, I guess ideally in this scenario, because I'm not too worried about ending up with too much sugar. It's not gonna make or break me. Doing it over the bowl is an okay way to go. You don't wanna do it all over your counter. And then the last remaining deal here is our vanilla extract. So, a little, and our egg. See, I was wondering why this wasn't stirring very well. But the egg kind of helps make things a little easier. And especially if I'm dealing with something like raw egg. Really try to make a point of washing my hands after I handle it, even in the midst of the recipe. Because there's certain diseases that can be hanging out, and I think they're probably not that common, but you know, if you don't have to get a disease, I'm not sure that you would want to, unless you were a super experimental scientific type, and even then, probably not the best of their choices. So, try to, I guess, de-chaos immediate environment. So, moving the sugar, being a good recycler, I'm going to rinse this out and then put it in my little recycling when I'm done here. And then, if you're watching, I want to let you know I sure appreciate you hanging out with me. I really am working to build a project and a following around helping people build better lives. And part of my long-term goal with that is to become a doctor, but like a psychiatrist DO. But I think a really crucial part of medicine is nutrition. I think music is also really critical just to the human existence, and I really want to integrate all these elements and build a following as I go, as I improve my knowledge and my ability to connect with people, because I think even if you possessed the best knowledge in the world, if you can't impart it in a way that anybody actually wants to consume it and receive it, then it's, I don't know, kind of pointless. So anyhow, I guess you could say I'm working on my bedside or my kitchen side manner. So anyways, me a tablespoon. And everything in my kitchen is pretty ergonomic, in my opinion, but that took quite some time. So I'm just kind of sharing stuff that's worked for me, trying to make it where if somebody really wants to learn and move forward, and there's something that I can share with them that helps them do that, maybe streamlines the process so then they can take whatever they're doing to a whole nother level quicker and, you know, put their positive mark on the world, and I want to support them. Alright, so getting this all mixed up here, and then we're just going to make our small batch of cookies. And then I was thinking today, you know, I'm going to be doing these cooking videos once a week on Fridays, and if I really have my act together, when stuff is, you know, literally cooking or baking or whatever, I can meander over to another part of the house and play some music on the video, and then come back and complete the steps. Oh my goodness, Steve Mortimer is talking to me because I guess he's done with the peanut butter and he's wanting more. But I think the amount he had is pretty sufficient. I know he probably doesn't think it's sufficient, but we're gonna have to just kind of find a middle ground around here. Love you, buddy. He's a very, very cool dog. He's my best friend on the planet. So, I have my blended ingredients, which was the all-natural peanut butter, the egg, the vanilla extract, and the coconut sugar. Got my little deal here, my baking pan. And it said I didn't need to grease anything, because there's a lot of natural grease, fats, whatever, that would, you know, prevent unwanted adhesion to whatever surface. And just making little balls, just kind of going off memory from what the recipe was than me last time. Oh wait, I think last time like chilling was part of this equation, but I'm gonna live on the edge and just because I'm already committed. Maybe what I'll do then once I get these on here, maybe I'll stick that in the refrigerator, or I'll stick the remainder in the refrigerator. That's what I think I'll do. You know, I was reading an article earlier. It said to, wow, this is pretty fun. It said to test drive your toaster oven if you were trying to use it to bake cookies and do like a couple tester cookies. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna refrigerate part of this, and then the rest of it, I'm just gonna go ahead and cook right now, and we'll see how it goes. I'll cook a couple little batches, and you know, we'll compare and contrast, which is cool because I was already planning on doing that, but then I kind of felt like it sounded intimidating and a lot of extra work. But I was willing to do it. I just didn't know at what point I was going to do it, but you know, opportunity presents itself, and you either take it or you don't. So, I'm going to go ahead and make it. I'm going to run whatever I want to do. And with the toaster oven, I'm going to go ahead and put this here for now. I don't think he's going to live on my island, you know, but I got a couple little initial cookies in the toaster oven. 350 is what it said. Let's see. Ah, no, I don't want this. I'll turn this off. Abort. Abort. Okay. 350. I'll dial. And then, I think bake. Bake. And then, there's gotta be a go button. Mortimer, I hear you. Okay. I mean, just, I guess I'll just do this. Yeah, I'll do. This is odd. Not gonna lie, this is odd. I turned it to the right temperature, and I turned it to the right function, and then, oh, yeah, timing is crucial. So you do this off, and it says rotate past 10, and set time. So I'm doing that past 10, and then we're doing right at 10. So I feel like maybe it's starting to heat up. I think, pretty sure. A little light, that indicated something would be helpful. But I will peruse the instruction manual. This is a little bit more, a couple of variables I didn't anticipate, but we'll get there. So thanks for tuning in. I shall